race is not a biological or essential aspect of a person. That is, that race is not something that we have or that we are. It is not located in our DNA.
Race is a doing. It's about a set of social transactions that we engage in every day, every way, throughout our lives. People do race in all the domains of their lives.
Race matters because it is literally a matter of life and death. None of us can escape it. There is no outside of race. Certainly in the United States, we need to think more about what would liberation mean. And it's something that all of us need to be working on.
It means that it's socially constructed. I think of race as a category that is imbued with meaning about what people who look a particular way deserve. Do they deserve access to good neighborhoods, to good schools, to certain kinds of jobs, to wealth?
Race happens on a number of different levels. First, at the individual level with how someone thinks, right? Their attitudes about people who they see as racial others. It also takes place on the interactional level. Maybe I'm walking by you on a street and I get scared because I have these negative associations with people that I associate as being like you. It also takes place at the institutional level. For the most part, our institutions are set up to reliably reproduce the current racial order that we have. And finally, it takes place at the ideological level. Who is smarter? Who is more moral? And these, of course, all work together to create the racial order that we live in.
In 1977, they issued this very, very bureaucratic-sounding document called Office of Management and Budget Directive Number 15. All agencies, all contractors, all grantees of the federal government had to use these 5 categories, which were white, black, American Indian, Asian Pacific Islander, and Hispanic. When people think about race and checking off a box to identify themselves, those are the 5 categories that they're looking at, and they appear on job applications, scholarship applications, college applications, various organizations, corporations, government entities. In the end, these 5 categories become the racial cosmology for the United States.
Well, if we ask people to fill out a questionnaire that says, "Who am I?" and they have 10 or 20 lines to write the answer, we see some striking differences. We see that people of color will mention their race or ethnicity among the first 3, 4, 5, 6 answers. This is something salient, something important to say about yourself. You give the same questionnaire to white people, and they can give you 20 answers, and white doesn't come up.
Race lives or operates between what we could call a historical and social construct of what it is and the actual lived experience. So the lived experience that somebody has as a Muslim or as an Asian American or as an African American is very real and has certain consequences that result from that lived experience.
We live in a world that is deeply Eurocentric at its core. It's a privileging that is so taken for granted that it advantages people who are themselves associated with European culture. This has resulted in a situation that we might call a white supremacist order. That disadvantages, in a very profound way, anybody who can be seen as outside that order.
Nobody should get a pass. If you're living in this world, going about your everyday life, you are helping to foster and reinforce the racialized system that we live in now. And it's incumbent on each of us to think about how could I do my part to start to undo race.